Hello, everyone, and happy Monday morning to everyone. Today is August 19th, 2024, and we are back with another member of the LEAP community, Lori Osborne. She is the resident website expert, and she has a new way of looking at her websites and some new things that she's doing. And I wanted to get her out here and bring her forward again to talk more about what she's doing to help each one of us as entrepreneurs, those of you that own businesses, have products, have services. Maybe you're an author, what it is that you can do and why your website is so important. So, Lori Osborne, she is the fresh creator of websites. Welcome to today's Spotlight.
Thank you so much for having me, Colleen. I am so excited to be here.
So tell us, Lori, what is fresh? What does fresh mean? I'm dying to find out.
So fresh, to me, fresh really defines what I do different, how I stand out, or not how I stand out, but how I create websites to stand out for you. So fresh is fast because speed does matter with websites, reliable. You want to make sure your website is never down, easy to update because so many people want to update their own websites and not have to pay for every single little thing. SEO optimized, so it is ready to start being found as soon as we go live, and human connecting, which is my way of saying building that know, like, and trust that is so important in any marketing that you do, and especially in your website.
Why are websites so important? I see this is a conversation that happens quite a bit, and you and I both know so much in the world. We meet people and ask them about their website, and they'll say, "Oh, my website needs to be updated," or "I'm embarrassed about my website." What is that usually about? What do you find when you dig a little bit more into that?
Well, I mean, the first thing I find way too often, and it just breaks my heart, is people having websites they don't like. I mean, it just kills me when someone says they spent thousands of dollars and they have something they won't even share. To me, your website is you and your brand, which is critical, and it should represent you. So first and foremost, you got to love your website. But the reason you need a website is because it's expected by your prospects. When someone is in business, that really represents them being in business. It is a presence that can always be found. So when someone hears your name, here's the name of your business, and they go look you up, yeah, it's great that your LinkedIn profile shows up. It's great that your social media shows up, but your website really represents your business. It should be that place that they can dig and find out more to start building that know, like, and trust, like finding videos, finding blogs, finding your freebie. Like those are all part of that first step of the process. We got to date before we get married. The website is your dating.
I love that you said that, because you've always said the website's the hub of your business and really where people find out information about you. So, when we're looking at stats and we're looking at a video we might send out on social media, a reel or a story, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, or maybe we're doing a story or a post or a video in LinkedIn, some of those numbers can look quite low. Sometimes people are only getting numbers maybe in the hundreds. Some of them might be getting them in the thousands. But when you look at your website and the availability of the website, the beautiful part is the powered engine behind that, which is SEO and Google. Do you want to talk a little bit more about SEO?
Absolutely. So in case people don't know what SEO is, it is what I call the art and science of being found online, usually on Google, since that's where most searching is done. And there's a lot to it. And I'll tell you, the first step I tell people now, because accessibility for disabled folks is becoming such a necessary thing. Legally, it gets a little weird when you're dealing with non-government, but accessibility is like step one, because if you've made your website accessible, you've covered so many of the main things that's important to Google. But there are a lot of things that need to be done behind the scenes before you even start thinking about advertising or paying for having an SEO service or any of those things that add to that, because just going live on a website is not enough. There are too many websites out there. You have to do those extra steps to be found.
Yeah, I totally agree. And SEO is such a robust mixture of not only your website, but of how I would say fully not launched, but what would you call that, Lori, when we're talking about every optimized area of your website, like blogs, right? So you might have a
Mhm.
website, but you never use the blog section, where that's the one section that SEO is really like Google loves that. And utilizing, someone might not realize to utilize keywords throughout their content on their website, because that's what Google's looking for, so that when someone is putting in keywords, they're able to find you and you're able to rank at a higher level. There's so many reasons why a fresh website is so important, and not just social media, not just social media. I think they intertwine with each other, but if you go look at your statistics of your website, you should have tens and thousands of people visiting your website on a regular basis, right? And being able to do downloads and play videos. And that's all of those areas are going to help optimize the Google search engine to be able to move you up the ranks. And when someone is looking for something, the first thing they do is go to Google and start typing in a search.
Yeah.
And that's where you want your website to show up,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's so critical, and it's some things that to keep in mind on the Google side. That Google wants fresh information, and I didn't mean to say my acronym, but it's true. Google wants new and different and just keyword rich is in there, but you want to make sure your website is frequently updated, and blogs are the easiest way to do that. But even if it's just changing things around and just making sure that it is updated on a regular basis. And the other thing that Google changed recently that's good to know is try not to think about keywords in terms of being specific around a particular keyword. What Google wants is natural, which is ironic because I've always taught this. People ask me all the time, how do I know what my keywords are? And my answer is always, well, how do you talk about your business? How do people outside of you talk about your business? What do people say when they're looking for your business? That's a natural focus on keywords, not okay, websites, SEO, and then, all those words that mean nothing to anybody. You want it to be natural. So just when you're writing words for your website, just think about how you would describe it to somebody looking for your services.
I love that. So just kind of your own natural story on how you would tell people what it is that you do and why you do it. And that should be what your content is, how you
Mhm.
speak about it, and what should permeate through all of your social media platforms. And
Yes.
obviously with YouTube as well, and that
Yes.
platform that you have on YouTube. What have you found out lately, Lori? Has there been any big changes in website SEO or anything different that I and share a little bit too why you're still passionate about this. You've been doing this for a long, long time. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. 8 years now. This year was my 8th year. SEO is important to me because the websites don't matter without it, is what it boils down to. I mean, I love to joke. When I first started doing this, I actually said, I don't want to know anything about marketing, which I just laugh now because I'm like, what was I thinking? And then I started building websites, and people would come back to me and go, well, I love my website, but nobody ever finds it and nobody sees it. What do I need to do? And that's when I started really looking into SEO. And it is its own animal and it's its own science. but there is so much that can be done just to be aware. And it is beyond your website as well as part of your website. For instance, LinkedIn has excellent SEO. So you want to be part of LinkedIn and you want to make sure that you're carrying your brand, your words, your verbiage into LinkedIn just like you would your website. And for local, if you are doing anything local, you must have your Google business profile and it needs to be fully optimized because that is your key to showing up on top for local SEO. So if you do, even if you do national, if you do anything local, you want to make sure that's there. And then the last thing that I would say is just mostly more recent, and I mentioned it a second ago, is the accessibility. I'm starting to hear about more and more lawsuits in this area against small business owners because the law is vague. It basically says anything that is public accessible has to be, or public available has to be accessible, and that includes websites. And up until a few years ago, it was only government websites that people worried about, but there are more and more and more lawsuits against just us little guys,
Yeah.
and we've got to be aware of that. So that's key as well.
Thank you for sharing that. I mean, that's a lot of information that not each one of us maybe would be aware of. Can you remind us again, what does FRESH stand for?
It is fast because you need to keep 3 seconds or less people on your website, reliable, up and running, easy to update, SEO optimized, so ready for SEO to be seen, and human connecting.
Human connecting. I love that. So tell us a little about your Shine Online, for your free VIP gift here that you have that is your website and SEO secrets.
Yes. So it's a guide. It literally starts at step one, naming your business and starting your logo and figuring out your brand, all the way through the basics of what you can do to improve your own SEO, simple things. And the guide, I mean, it's less than 20 pages. It's just really step by step of everything you need to keep in mind, not just in building the website, but even if you're having someone else build the website, things that you can share with them that, have you thought about this or have you done this? Because not everybody knows SEO, not everybody knows brand. Just because you can build a website doesn't mean you have those key things in there. And I also have on this page 3 hours of video training. If you really want to know how to get in and do it yourself, there's an hour and a half on websites and an hour and a half on SEO that with slides that you are welcome to.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for that. So, you all heard it here first. You've got to have a fresh website. And you can go to www.bizbolster.com/VIP free gift. So you can just click on that link. We'll have that right there for you in the comment section. Click on that link, and that will get you to the page where you'll be able to enter your information to get to the 90-minute training video for websites, 101 for small businesses, and SEO 101 for small businesses. So this is a wonderful page. I'm looking at it now and all that it has to offer. And I'm sure on that same page it says, let's chat. So why would they
Yes.
want to chat with you, Lori?
I love to have free calls with anyone that hates their website, number one, because I want you to love your website. If you want an update, if you need a new website, if you need some SEO tools because your website just isn't being found, you need help with your Google business profile, let's talk. It doesn't mean you're committed to me. Let's just see if we hit it off. If I'm your piece of cake, I don't know. And if it's a free call, 15 minutes, let's just chat.
Yeah, I love that, Lori. Thank you so much for everything that you bring to the LEAP community. Thank you for your master classes that you teach. I know you have one coming up very soon where you're going to be teaching the ladies a lot about SEO and websites and things that they can change, things that they can do to update. So we really appreciate that. And thank you so much for all you do for not only nonprofits, but local businesses in your area. Tell them where you're from.
Oh, I am in Yulee, Florida, which is right on the Florida Georgia line. northeast of Jacksonville and over the bridge from Amelia Island.
It is gorgeous there. Well, thank you
It
so
is.
much for being a member. Thank you for allowing us to spotlight you today and putting all of your amazing tools out there that you work on. And to all of you, don't forget it's an amazing week. So go crush your goals. Be you and be strong. Bye bye for now.
Bye.